Welcome everyone to another episode of the Next Level Fitbiz Show. Let's get this show started. Welcome to episode 6 of the Next Level Fitbiz Show. Today we head up to Silverwater in Sydney, New South Wales, and we have a chat with Jai and Kate from Square One Fitness. Now before we hear from Jai and Kate themselves, I just want to give you a bit of a background story as to why they got in the fitness industry. Jai worked in IT for 13 years and Kate worked in risk management in a bank. Jai went into cardiac arrest at the age of 27 and died for 3 minutes. After heart surgery, he decided to leave the IT industry and become a personal trainer. Since then, Jai and Kate have opened up Square One Fitness. They originally started out in a park and before opening the facility that you will see today. Welcome to the Next Level Fitbiz Show. I'm here in Silverwater in Sydney, New South Wales. I'm here at Square One Fitness with Kate and Jai. Thanks for having me, guys.
No worries, man.
Alright, so first thing we're going to do is how big is the facility here?
Do you know the exact meters of the floor space?
Floor space, gym floor is about 180 square meters.
Okay, perfect, cool.
So it's 400 square meter building, but 180 on the floor.
Okay, awesome. And how long have you guys been open for?
Well, we've been running since 2010, and then we were outdoor, and then we moved into this facility in 2013 or 14?
May 2014.
2014.
So three and a bit years.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, cool. And how many staff do you have working here?
So it's Kate and myself as the directors, and then we have 4 other trainers. 3 of them do PT and groups, and one of the trainers just does the group stuff.
Okay, perfect, cool.
Yeah.
And what type of memberships do you guys offer at Square One?
So we're predominantly a group training facility. That's our primary focus. And then so we have a schedule of group classes, and then in between the classes we cram in PT. So as a member, you have an option to either be a group class member, or you can be a PT member, or you can do a combination of the both. So essentially, we make it easier and cheaper for people who want to do both, because that's what we encourage. So our memberships, we have a range of memberships starting from 3 group classes a week for $45. And then we scale up to unlimited group classes and 3 PT sessions a week for $135 per week. So we charge per week.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Alright, so Kate and Jai are going to take us on a tour of their facility now, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit of business.
Alright, so this is where you generally walk into our business. So we've just got the one playground area, bathrooms at the back, our rig on the corner, and then all of the action happens in the middle of the floor. So we work on sort of the idea that we bring the equipment out through the day and sort of move it around based on whether or not it's PT or classes. So sometimes we do some big bodyweight classes, sometimes we've got just all of the weights out, and we run a couple of strength classes as well, and some boot camps, and we've also got we're pretty kid friendly as well. So our 9:45 classes, people have normally got their toddlers and stuff running around with us as well. So
when we created like the design of the gym, we tried to keep it as open plan as possible, because we are predominantly group class based. So when we put in the rig and got the bits of equipment, we tried to really make it as spacious as possible, because there are big group classes where like Group X style classes where we just got the whole open area completely full. And we don't use a lot of equipment many times, so that's why we did that. And so we have the ability for PT to use a lot of the lifting stuff, but also to do those big group boot camp classes as well. And it kind of works out when we do the circuits, the boot camp circuits as well, because you can use the open floor, but then you can also use the equipment as well. So
we run like boxing classes and stuff as well, so you're not using anything else except for your gloves and pads.
Floor space.
So
yeah.
Just the floor space.
Yeah. See, like the way we structure it is we have a lot of whiteboards everywhere, as you can see, and essentially we would have a session created for a particular client, and then when we know that they're coming in, we'll have it on the board ready. So this looks like probably some sessions that happened earlier today. So as you can see, everyone gets their workout written up, and then the client comes in and basically they work with the trainer, but they also kind of know what they're doing. And the reason why we do it like this is because we don't actually do a one-on-one PT. It's more of like a semi-private PT.
But everyone's on their own program.
I think that's the uniqueness, because usually when you see businesses that do semi-private PT, they might have 3 or 4 people doing PT, but they're all doing the same program. But we don't like to do that. We like to keep it customized. And so that's why we create the program. And our intention is to get our clients to a point where they have a level of competence where they can just come in, they know what they're doing, they know the exercises, and they can just refer back, and then the trainer can float around and cue people and keep people engaged and make sure that they're not slacking off. And so we found with this system, we can manage 4 people. Sometimes we squeeze in 5 in certain cases, but generally the rule is we have a maximum of 4 people in at one particular time doing their PT, with 1 trainer supervising them. And we also maximize 2 trainers at the same time. So there wouldn't ever be more than 8 people in here doing PT with 2 trainers. So that's why we got the multiple boards. So this would just be one of the guys' clients, and then the other boards, there's other trainers programs as well.
We found when we did the one-on-ones that we babied the clients a lot, and so they didn't learn, like they were just always reliant on us. And so if they wouldn't go to another gym and go and do things, because they were always like fully reliant on a trainer to be there. So this way it's like you've got to do a little bit of the stuff yourself and understand your program and know what you're doing.
It also keeps the trainers super engaged as well. So if you're clever and you got a bit of sense and you can run good programs, this really tests you out as opposed to doing one-on-one. Like I found that when I was doing one-on-one, I felt like a rep counter, and this really takes that away. So
we're able to help more people as well, and there's also like everyone sort of gets a bit of a bond, whereas if it's a one-on-one, it's a little bit more solo, and so you're not meeting other people in the gym, and we want everyone. Here it is one big family, and so it's like you want everyone to know each other and sort of cheer each other on. So. Yeah.
And then I guess the other benefit as well is that when you're doing the one-on-one PT, I found it oftentimes that they actually wouldn't get as good of a workout as a group class, because that group dynamic, you kind of just push yourself a little bit more when there's people around.
People are watching.
Yeah, and so with the one-on-one, like it's really easy to get engaged in a conversation on a one-on-one basis, and then some clients can take advantage of that because they might be a bit lazy or whatever, and so they can kind of like lead the trainer into conversations that distract them. And so this kind of eliminates all that. It's really get the workout done, and don't really stop. So that's how this has been working, and it's been really effective. So from a business standpoint, there's a lot more leverage, because we used to charge $75 for a one-on-one personal training session, and now by having 4 people doing PT at one time, we're able to reduce our what we charge. So we've gone from 75 down to 55. But obviously it's better for us as well, because 4 people in, that's $220 or something like that for a 45-minute block. So if we can get more people in, then the leverage is there. So there's more profit for the business.
More affordable for the client.
It's more affordable for the client. It's more engaging for the trainers. It challenges the trainers to step up their game, so they've got to develop as well. So it's a real win-win situation. At the gym, you can notice that a lot of the equipment that we use is very basic stuff. So we stick to the simple things like the slam balls, the kettlebells, the dumbbells, and the bars. There's not a whole lot of other stuff that you see in here. There's a lot of gimmicky shit that you see, for sale, and that gyms try to sell or whatever. But we really try to just keep it as basic as possible. One of our principles is just sticking to the fundamentals, so that's why we really keep it basic. We put in the rig system because we found that really made a huge impact, not only to the perception of the gym and the perception that the clients have of the gym, but also, it's extremely functional, because obviously you've got chin-up bars that are already there, and then you can do your squatting, and you can do your benching and your deads and all that kind of stuff. So we really try to keep it as fundamental as possible. And so the way we keep the clients engaged with that style of training is we've created we've got a whiteboard at the back, so we can actually measure people's performance. And then we actually have, you can see up the top there, we've got level 1, 2, and 3, like a basically to measure people's performance. So
something to strive for. So we've previously done a lot of weight loss stuff at the gym, but we also wanted to create some driver for people to get better at their movement patterns and their fitness and all of that sort of stuff. So we broke down each level into 4 sections. And so you've got your mobility, your function, cardio and strength. And to pass a level, you have to hit all of them. And so people are like, well, you know, why do I need to touch my toes? And it's like, because you can't move the rest of your body properly if you don't have that mobility. And one thing we do allow is if you can't, if there's a section that you can't pass, say you can't do a chin up because you've got a really dodgy shoulder and that just doesn't work for you, then you have to learn a skill to then progress to the next section. So you can opt out one of the things, so say it is a chin up, then you can choose something from the level 1 skills, and that might be learn to juggle for 30 seconds, because you've got to put the same amount of effort into learning to do that as you would to having to progress into a chin up. And it's really given our clients like a bit of a boost. And so people are coming in and they're testing out their 1K row time, and so we've set times that you need to beat that by body weight, like deadlifting your own body weight and stuff like that. And so that's kind of giving people a driver to drop some weight and get stronger. So it still helps with the health thing, but it also gives them something to aim for, which is, it's been really good.
Yeah, I think like something that we do is we check out what everyone else is doing, and we try to get like inspiration from what other gyms are doing, and we look outside of our niche as well. So for example, like CrossFit, like we've taken a lot of influence from CrossFit. We don't do CrossFit style workouts, but you know, like measuring deadlifts and having the board up and things like that, like we kind of, you know, we saw that a lot of CrossFit gyms did that. We thought that was a really great thing. Down the other end, we've got a goals wall where people can actually set a goal that they want to accomplish.
It's out in the open, other people can see it. People are asking you like, hey, did you hit your goal?
Yeah, so we're always looking for inspiration and influence from other gyms that are performing well. And you know, we always try to look outside of the scope of like what we do here, just to get that variety and just find different things to just make it engaging for our customers and our members. So
we've done that through like checking out Facebook, Instagram, and masterminding as well.
Yeah, chatting to other trainers, and yeah, so that's one of the things that we really focus on. And so that's how we come up with this idea. You know, we saw someone else doing something similar. We obviously don't like just copy it. We look at the idea and then we sit down together as a team and we have a meeting about it and we discuss what we think would be good for our clients, and then that's how we created this system here. And so that's kind of like something that we often do to just continue to progress and get better and add value.
Keep the clients engaged.
Thanks for that tour, guys. That was awesome. So now we're going to sit down and talk a little bit of business. So I guess the first question is, you guys first started as a boot camp, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And so what sort of sparked you to move into indoor facility?
Yeah, so originally it was just me doing one-on-one personal training, and you know, obviously outdoor, so it was basically me and some dumbbells in my boot, and I would just go park to park. And so obviously dealing with, you know, weather and councils and things like that, like it was a little bit of an issue. And for me, like one of the things that I've always been thinking about is like reduce any risks, you know, like for your business. So like, you know, I always had this fear that, you know, someone from a council would come up and go, get out, you know, you can't be here or whatever. And it's like, you know, this is my business, this is all I do. So I thought, like, always thought in my head, this is an issue. And so that's what, you know, I planted that seed in my head, is at some point we have to get a facility so that we can eliminate that variable, so that no matter what happens, we've got a space that we're paying for, that it's all good, and we can train people no matter what, no matter whether it's pouring rain or thunder or whatever. And so that was really the driver, just to create a little bit more stability. And it also kind of like put that perception of the business,
growth,
you know, like a little bit more serious. These guys kind of like, you know, they're not just some joker out in the park.
Yeah. We looked at a couple of places and had like some issues with strata and council, like when we went to move into a facility and stuff. We looked up in Newington, and like the strata guy didn't want us to be. The council said yes, but strata said no, and then found this place, and it's just been perfect ever since. So we haven't had any dramas, any issues, but we tried a couple of places and ended up being like I don't know, it's sort of smashed our heads for a while. We're like, felt like we weren't getting anywhere, or we were spending money with like a draftsman and all that sort of stuff. and then we just stopped for a few months, and then it's just like was perfect. And it was like, hey, yeah, we want to take the place. Okay, sweet, you can get the keys like next week. And we're like, shit. So
it's real.
Yeah. Whereas the other one was just like roadblock after roadblock after roadblock.
Resistance.
And then we'd spoken to other people in the area, and they were like, don't go here. Like the strata guy is like a jerk.
Yeah.
So we're glad we didn't, and this just fit us perfectly. So
Awesome, cool. When you're looking at different facilities, like what was one thing you would look after? Like, was it size?
Yeah, definitely space, definitely location. So we didn't want to go somewhere that our clients wouldn't travel to because we'd already had a database. So before we opened this gym, like I originally said, it was just me, but before we had the gym, we also had Kate, we also had Kate's brother Chris, and a couple other trainers doing little bits and pieces for us. So we had a decent client base already, and my biggest concern was like, I don't want to move out of this area and then have to start again. And so definitely location was huge. And then the other thing was as well space, because I didn't want to go through the effort of moving into a facility that I was going to outgrow in 12 months.
Yeah.
So I thought, like, what's the capacity here? How many members can we like legitimately bring in?
what can we afford?
And yeah, what can we afford?
But just take the plunge and do it.
And is it going to bring enough income in that's going to, be sustainable?
Yeah.
So that was a big thing as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so what does that culture sort of consist of? Like, you guys would create the culture of your clients and the facility. So what is that definition to you, and what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, culture is huge for us. That's something that we really focus on because we understand that it's not just about a member coming in and sweating. It's also about having friends here and feeling comfortable enough to talk to us about their concerns, about their health or whatever. And
Gyms
so,
are a very daunting place for people to get fit.
We really wanted to create a gym that was like no other gym. So we started off, we were like, you know what, let's just have no mirrors, let's just keep it really basic, and let's just focus on bringing in a client that is like your average person. And so we really focused on targeting just your average person who has a 9-to-5 job where they're sitting down all day. They don't really understand nutrition. They, don't really understand exercise that well, and they need that extra help, because anybody can go join Anytime Fitness and pay $14 or whatever it is and work out. And so we really needed to separate ourselves from that. Yeah. And that also gave us the ability to charge, premium rates, because it is a premium service. And so that's the culture. We really don't target people who are competent at exercise. We really target people who are incompetent, and then we get them to a level of competency. And
people for us, this is our livelihood and something that we really enjoy, and
we don't like to work with assholes.
We don't want to work with dickheads, really.
Yeah, so.
And we didn't want we've in the whole time that we've been in this facility, there's been very few people that haven't fit the mold, but if they haven't, we've help them move on as well, because we want every single person here to feel comfortable. We don't want judgment, we don't want bitchiness, we don't want any kind of segregation between all the people.
And it starts with us, and that's something that I think a lot of not only fitness businesses but just businesses in general kind of miss the point around, is where they focus so much on getting customers,
money,
and it's so money driven that they forget about that culture. And so for us, really, I think the foundation and the root of a good culture starts with the team. And so that's what we really focus on, is making sure that the team that work here are happy and engaged, because that then has a projection. So if the staff are pissed off or overworked or not happy or whatever,
don't fit our mold
or unaligned or whatever, then when a member comes into the gym, you don't it's not verbal. Most communication is non-verbal, so they can detect that, right? And so that's the biggest thing, and that can really ruin a culture. And so we've had people that have worked here in the past that haven't been a good fit, and so we had to make adjustments. So we make sure, it's my number one priority, is that staff are happy and engaged and love what they do, and I do anything that I can to make sure that they are happy and remain happy and they're doing what they want. And then it just has a domino effect, and that projects out to the client. So just being happy all the time, being consistent. I think something that people lack in their lives is consistency.
Yeah.
And so we just do little subtle things that create consistency. For example, always wear a uniform. Always, when the client comes in, always have a smile on your face. Always have the same attitude. Like, don't come into a PT session as a trainer and be in a bad mood and say, my car broke down on the way, and then, my, dog, got sick, or whatever it is. Like, come into the gym with the same consistent attitude. Yeah, even if you had the worst morning ever, like, I don't care. Like, come in and be consistent. Yeah, we don't anyway. Like, but yeah, and having that consistency really helps actually to build that culture.
Yeah.
So it really starts with us.
Cool. Awesome. And when we talk about business coaching and looking for like a mentor, what do you sort of look for in a mentor and a coaching business coach?
So something that I've seen a lot in the coaching world is there's a lot of people who start coaching businesses, but they don't actually have a business in that field. So for fitness, for example, there's a lot of guys out there that go, hey, I'm a fitness business coach, but they don't have a fitness business. And so to me, that's kind of incongruent. So I like to look for people who actually are in the trenches, who actually have a business that is successful, and then they're helping people do what they're already doing. And so that's a big key. Another thing is to make sure that the type of coaching that they're offering is going to pull you to where you actually need to be. So for example, like you hear a lot of, 6-figure PT or 100K PT, that's awesome if you need to get to 100K, but if you're already there, then, there's not much value. So it's also just like finding what that benchmark is or what that thing is that you need to get to, and doing that. And to be honest, I find that the majority of the great coaches in the fitness industry are in the US.
Yeah.
They're just ahead of the game. They've been doing it longer. They just get it more. And so I always look for mentorship from people that have been in the industry for a long time, and predominantly in the US. I'm not biased to the US only, but I just...
The good ones seem to have come out from there.
There's just high quality out there. Like, there's just a lot of success out there. There's a lot of abundance out there. And, I don't want to learn from somebody who's not winning. So I want to focus on somebody... I only want to listen to people who are above me, So I want to be the dumb guy in the room. I don't want to be the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah. Perfect. Cool. And so if there's any coaches out there that want to know more about Square One, where can they sort of look for you?
Well, we're very active on our Instagram, which is SQ1 Fitness AUS. We're also very active on our Facebook page, just Square One Fitness.
All spelled out, no numbers.
Yeah, and so that's where you...
And then our website as well.
Yeah.
And, we're always super open to help people as well. We've had a lot of PTs come through, and we've done a lot of sort of mentorship type stuff as well.
Yeah.
We love networking with other people in the fitness industry. We've done masterminds, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we've helped a lot of PTs straight out of the institute and stuff as well. So.
Yeah, we're really big on community. Like we don't see other PTs as competition. We see them as family.
Yeah.
And so we like to engage with other trainers as well. So. Sometimes we'll go out to the Australian Institute of Fitness to their fire nights.
Yeah.
We'll set up a table there, and we have no intentions of, our only intentions is to help them. And so we
it's
often,
not financial.
we just, and as you'll find, in business, whether it's fitness or not, one of the hardest things is staff. Finding the right staff, especially if you have a really tight culture that you really want to match that culture. And so for us, one of the benefits of reaching out to students at Australian Institute or ACPE is that you can have an opportunity to get them in, and you can give them help by helping them to meet their 20-hour requirement that they've got to do. But at the same time, it gives you an opportunity to spend some time and see what they're like, to see if they fit your culture. And so it's kind of win-win, because we can give them the download on where they need to, the level they need to get to. But at the same time, it opens up doors for us to meet people that could potentially be part of our team. And so
it's so satisfying to see people that you've helped actually doing things that you've helped them with.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for joining me, guys.
No worries.
Appreciate it. And we'll see you next week on the next episode. Thank you for watching today's episode with Jai and Kate from Square One Fitness. Please hit the subscribe button down below, give us a like on Facebook and a comment, and we look forward to seeing you next week on another episode of the Next Level Fitness Show.